What's up, guys? Thanks for joining another episode, Fantasy Football Wrap-Up. Here with my boy Tyler over here, just two of us today.
Yep.
I'll be your host, Scott Plant, Tyler Spooner, three-time champ.
Yep.
All right, we got a good show for you this week. I'm not going to hit you with all the Facebook, Twitter stuff. There'll be a link below. Just click on us and you can follow us. We kind of really got Twitter going over the past couple of weeks, so check that out. We'll get over philosophies today because philosophy is something that we see a lot of questions asked about. We get asked a lot about it in our fantasy group discussion.
Yeah.
People have different philosophies. Tyler and I kind of have the same one, but I'm going to give you a different outlook on a couple different. You can go quarterback early. You can go. Zero running back, zero receiver, zero quarterback early. That's so available. Many. Points head to head. There's so many different ways. We're just going to touch on some of the ways that we think it works best.
And just to piggyback on that a little bit, not to say that I'm saying my
go ahead and cut me off. It's okay.
Sorry, but I mean I wanted to fill this in so everyone doesn't think that it's just this is how you have to do it.
Yeah.
But for me personally, it's the wide receiver. I pick at pick 9, so I'm at that swing.
Right.
And
hold on, before you start, we are a 10-team
PPR.
Full point PPR.
Yes. All right, so I'm at pick 9, and if we go to pick 11, I could get one of those running backs. So at pick 9, I think AJ Green's going to be there just based on the people in our league, and I know you know most of the draft picks that are happening before you, and you're at 7.
Yep.
So I know everyone that is pretty much going 1 through 7. There's a kid at 8 that. It looks like Mike Evans will be there or Melvin Gordon or something like that for him.
Yep.
I think he's going to take Mike Evans, so I'm going to just take AJ Green there.
Right.
I'm pretty much locking that pick up now because I think it happens, and if he's not there, then it's going to be Mike Evans. It's one of the two.
It's one of the two.
So I'm going to take one of those two guys there.
Yep.
At that swing, the kid's probably going to go double running back because he's a big Freeman fan at 10.
Yep.
And maybe goes another running back, and if he goes a receiver, it's not a big deal. I have other ones.
There's options.
But I'm going to go Jordy Nelson with that next pick.
Correct.
So I'm going to go AJ Green and Jordy Nelson.
Yep.
The reason why I do that is because if I'm facing somebody that didn't take Odell, Julio, Evans, or Brown, I now have 2 receivers that are better than their 1.
Correct.
So my second receiver is better than their 1 at that point.
Correct.
So I'm looking, and in some cases I might win the position against those other ones.
Right.
So I look at these, my philosophy is don't just look at the matchup team to team. You want to go position to position.
Right.
So in our league, you start 2 flexes, and that can be a wide receiver, running back, or tight end. And then we have 3 wide receiver spots.
Right.
So if you play your cards like him, and I do,
right,
it's 5 receivers is the way I'm going to go. I'm going to start 5 receivers every week.
Right.
So my first 2 are going to be AJ Green, Nelson.
Yep.
Now you go into the 3rd and 4th round. I'm looking at Terrell Pryor.
Yep.
I'm probably going to take him in the 3rd.
Yep.
And then I'm going to get somebody like Keenan Allen in the 4th.
Sure.
I'm going to take the shot on him because I'd rather take the shot on a guy that potentially is a top 5 guy. You guys know how much we love him.
Right.
At pick 4 than Isaiah Crowell, who's going to level out, and I can get somebody like Dalvin Cook at round 5 or 6 and get the same production-ish.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So that's why I would do it that way.
Right.
So now if you look at the receivers and you're facing this team, you're going to be like, holy shit, that receiver group is stacked. So you're going to look at yours, and maybe Alshon Jeffrey is your best receiver.
Right.
You have no shot at beating my receiver. I'm going to win 5 categories out of the 11 possible ones on our league.
Correct.
So that's guaranteed. That's before even adding the quarterback in. Because I take Drew Brees-ish, Ryan, Luck, one of those guys in the 6th.
Right.
So now I get Dalvin Cook, who I don't really need much out of my running backs. It's just my quarterback that's going to be able to keep up with the other top 3.
Yep.
So I have an elite quarterback, 5 receivers.
Yep.
That's 6 positions that I'm most likely going to win every single week.
Correct. And you throw out defense and you throw out kicker. Because
it's
those
just
are going to be washes.
Yeah.
Right? So now you talk about 9 positions and you're going to win 5 of the 9.
5 of the 9.
Which is over 50%. You're going to win most times.
And then
more often than not.
I go Rudolph in the next pick usually, or a tight end if a better one falls, and I'm happy to take him.
Right.
But right now it looks like Rudolph will be there for me to pick after that. So and people don't realize this. He was the 2nd best tight end in football last year.
Yeah, you're only going to get beat by a handful. The one guy that grabs Reed and gets lucky and he's playing, or Clark or Kels. I mean, that's only 3 of the 10 teams. The other 7 teams, you're winning tight end as well.
I know.
So you're winning 6 out of 9 categories every week,
that's
most likely.
For me, the philosophy is just I throw the team versus team out the window.
Yeah.
A good team in our league scores 160 points.
Yep.
If I got 20 out of Green because of PPR. If I'm getting 20 out of Nelson. If you look at Terrell Pryor's getting me, let's just say 18. Keenan Allen, if he's healthy, is 20. Because that's just what they do.
78.
We're at 78 points, and I haven't even gone into the quarterback who's going to get 25 in our league.
Right, it's only 4 receivers.
Yeah, so then I get the other receiver in the flex.
Right. You don't need your running backs to carry your teams.
And Tyreek Hill's the guy I usually select there.
Yeah,
so
6,
And he gets punt return yards. So if he is still punt returning, which I know there's been mixed reports about that.
Right.
But if he's still punt returning, he finished in our league with more points than Julio Jones.
Yeah.
So
more than Ty Hilton, more than Julio.
Yeah. So I could look at my second flex. There's not a team that has a starting receiver that's going to beat him.
That's correct. So like you said, you're going to win 5 positions, and then 70% of the time you're going to win tight end as well.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose very often. There's a reason we've been playing for 11 plus years, and we've never missed the playoffs. We're in every single year, no matter what. Missed on first round picks.
And it's not like the league
doesn't
had
matter.
no competition because every person in that league has won at some point.
Right.
You haven't. But you've been there.
Right.
So everyone's at least been to the semifinals of the championship.
Yep.
Everyone checks their team. It's not like it's just, we throw 12 people in a league.
It's a very competitive league. We never have just one team winning all the time.
Yeah. Which is fun.
Yeah.
So
no, it is good. And I think you guys need to pay attention to of knowing your draft, where you draft is a big thing, right? So if you're drafting 1 overall, in our opinion, if I was drafting 1, I can't take Tyler's philosophy of I'm going to go receivers.
100% agree.
Because you can't take Antonio Brown over
David Johnson.
If you do, you should lose your number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's stupid.
Well, you're giving the kid at 2 to the number 1 pick.
Right. So then you got to have a different philosophy. So you got to know where you draft. Tyler Zap's right. He has to take AJ Green, in our opinions, and Nelson, because his alternatives, if he wants to go the 0 wide receiver philosophy and go running back, he's going to take, Gordon, Howard, Murray, Freeman. Those guys don't score as many points as his 2 receivers. So why would you take a guy that gets less points just because you have to take a running back? Because you tell people the 0 running back theory, they're going to laugh at you. They're going to think you don't know what you're doing. But why am I going to take a guy that doesn't score as many points?
I'll pick Danny Woodhead up in the 9th round in our league.
I'll get Woodhead
number 2.
Give me 18 points a week, 15 points a week.
I'll roll Delvin Cook and Woodhead every single week.
Right.
And I guarantee you on some weeks I'll win that running back spot too.
Correct.
Because Woodhead is going to have the games where he goes 8 for 86 yards and a touchdown.
Correct.
Because he does catch balls when he's playing.
Correct. So you got to know where you draft. If you're drafting up top, maybe it's more best player available, which is another way to do it. Tyler kind of follows that philosophy as well with his wide receivers.
Yeah.
Because his 2 wide receivers he's taken there are the 2 best players available.
They are.
That's a big mistake a lot of people do is they draft, they look at their sheet and it's okay, I got a running back here at 1, I need a receiver, I need 2 receivers, I gotta get a tight end, and they draft just to fill out their roster. I can't tell you how big of a mistake that is. You're gonna be in a lot of trouble by doing that.
100%.
You've got to take best. I don't care if you're going 4 or 5. We've had guys go. What was Dan's record? Was it 7 straight, 6 straight?
He went 6 straight receivers.
6 straight. We could only start 5, but he was so deep. He could take a guy and move him later on, or he's got a flex player, a guy he can swap in on bye weeks, or if someone gets hurt and goes down. He's built a lot of depth, and he goes and gets Theo Riddick, Giovanni Bernard, guys that'll give him. Danny
10,
Woodhead.
11, 12 points. That's what he's really looking. He's
Right.
looking for 20 points out of his 2 backs combined.
Right.
And then he's going to fill 80 out of his other spots.
Right.
Your defense in our league usually generally score about 13.
Yeah.
Your kicker's about 7, 8.
And his QB, and
And
every
his
week
QB
he's
is just
150
20
to
or 30.
165, and if someone goes off, he's a guaranteed winner. And every single week we look at him, and he hits his projections almost every single week, and he always has a winning record because of those reasons.
It is.
So I'm a big fan of best player available. That's my philosophy.
Yeah.
Some people like quarterbacks. Let's touch on the quarterback thing for a minute.
Yep.
We don't like quarterbacks early. We like them much later.
Late.
Right, because there's value late. You want to go Rodgers, Brady, because obviously those are the top
In
2
the
guys.
top 2 or 3 rounds.
Right.
And, I mean,
go right ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, in our opinion, I might go 3rd round, maybe Tyler probably 4th. If you wanted to go that route,
I'll be honest with you, I'm not taking Brady or Rodgers at all.
No, but if you're that guy, you're that team that wants to do a quarterback.
Oh yeah, if you want to go a quarterback, I say third
Third is the
round.
absolute earliest, and
Yeah.
it can only be for Brady and Rodgers.
Oh
Otherwise,
yes, don't take Russell Wilson at third like I've seen before.
I don't even go Breeze in the third round because I think you can get him in 4, 5, or certainly even after 4, probably
You
5
get him
or
5 or
6.
6. That's where he goes.
Same with Matt Ryan. Same with Andrew Luck. Same with Cousins, who had 4,500 yards and
Cousins is
30
10.
touchdowns.
We already talked about him. He goes around 10.
Russell Wilson, 4,200 yards and through the air last year. That's not changing.
No, it's
Trey Lacey
not
ain't
at
going to
all.
take that away from him.
No, it
So-
actually helps him. I think more so having the running game.
I agree. So if you want to go, I want to win the position battle philosophy. Okay, so it's all right. So I got David Johnson and I got, DeMarco Murray in the first 2 rounds. The third round, I want to go Brady or Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
And the fourth round, I want to go Travis Kelce. Okay, great. You won probably both running back positions.
Yep.
You won the quarterback
You won the
position.
tight
You
end.
won the tight end position.
That's only 4.
So you won 4 positions.
So now
Good
you're
job.
playing me and I won 5.
And you're playing him who won 5.
So that's why. But again, like he said, I'm picking at 9, so I have the luxury of letting whoever falls to me dictate how I go.
Correct.
So let's say someone messes up and takes Melvin Gordon because Elliott's suspended.
Right.
Maybe they take him over OBJ and
Right.
it pushes someone else to me.
Right.
There's a chance, like in our draft, I could get Mike Evans and AJ Green in the
Correct.
same draft.
Correct.
And if you're going up against them,
Right.
I might beat every one of your receivers combined with 2 receivers.
Correct.
So
Correct. You really have to pay attention. Don't fall in love with the name. Don't take the position. If you want to go quarterback, go right ahead. You can do it. You just got to be a really good draft throughout.
Yeah,
So, like
definitely.
you said, if you got those 4 positions, you won the first 2 running backs because if you got Johnson and Murray, you're going to beat every one of Tyler's running backs.
oh, no, there's no question. I won't
Right.
even beat one of yours combined with
Right.
both of mine.
Look, you're not going to win the quarterback one every week. Rodgers or Brady might beat you most weeks, but if you got Breeze or Ryan rounds 5 or 6, you're going to compete, and they might match, or you might even beat them. Maybe you get them on the off weeks. That's a little closer there. Kels or Gronk or something. If you got
I'm not
them up
beating
there,
them. I'm not
you're
beating
probably
them.
not going to beat them there.
I'm
but
not
again,
winning the running backs.
Kyle's going to beat every one of the 5 receivers, so it all depends. Do you have the best defense in the league? Did you go out and get a kicker?
And I go out early and get a defense. I
Right.
actually believe in doing that because in our league, defenses do score well.
They can.
So if you ever a team that
They can score
gets
20 to 30
touchdowns.
occasionally.
KC last year was like
KC
the
was
third,
really good.
third or 4th in our league, I think, something like that.
I think they were 3rd. Patriots were 1.
Yeah, but they scored like 20 points a week.
Right,
That's a first round pick.
right.
If you're getting 20, you're telling me I'm getting 20 points a week. I don't take them. I usually take New England's defense. I really, really like it. The additions on that this year.
Yeah.
I usually go around 12 or 13.
Yeah, they got better and they were number 1 last year. But guys, don't fall into the theory of kickers and defenses don't matter. Maybe in your league they don't. They're getting if your guys get 3-4 points a week on that, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
In ours it doesn't. So know your league.
Okay.
I mean, if you got a good defense that's getting you 20, if Tyler's defense gets him 20, and I went the quarterback, David Johnson, Murray route,
Yeah.
and tight end route, and my defense is getting me 15, all right, well, Tyler's got 5 points on me.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got the best kicker in the league, and I don't.
Which is Justin
And
Tucker, who I always get.
Right,
So,
and I mean, I had Matt Bryant, who ended up number
yeah,
1
he was
last
number
year.
1 last year, so you were good.
But maybe I'm like, well, I don't care who my kicker is. I'll just grab someone around
Sean
16.
Sweezen.
And I don't have a good kicker. Maybe Tyler might get 8 points out of his kicker, and I might get 4. All of a sudden, Tyler has a 9-point lead that I have to make up. That's almost like a flex player that you're ahead. So if you're a good drafter, you can do it multiple ways. We think the easiest way is wide receiver. You can go quarterback early. I would only recommend you go quarterback early if you're a quarterback league. Scoring is set up for 6 points for a QB touchdown and 2 for a pick. If you're set up for 4 touchdowns and 2 points, if you take a quarterback early, you are just blowing it to me.
Yeah, the only one that I can
agree
make
with
the
it.
exception on that is Rodgers because the amount of touchdowns he throws.
Or Brady because he doesn't throw many picks either.
Yeah, but still, it's a 3rd round. But I see people taking these guys in the 2nd round, mid-second, and it's
Right.
like you just threw away DeMarco Murray
right.
for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, so you can't make up later on for.
And it's not like you could be like, oh, well, you could substitute him with there, but you also have to substitute who your other quarterback would be. Because in round 10, you could get Cousins and...
Yeah.
If you turn a trade down last year,
Yeah.
if I sent you Kirk Cousins and DeMarco Murray and you
Yeah.
turn that down for Aaron Rodgers and, I don't know, 10th round pick or 11th round pick,
Right.
there's no way you're turning that deal down. You're doing that deal every day because Cousins was on fire last year.
Yep.
There's no one that would have, well, there's probably people that would have turned it down.
Mhm.
But me personally, I would have hit the accept button before even reading if there was any fine-tuned details in that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, for me,
Well,
again with the beginning of the draft though, if you're getting the running backs, you might be going to running back strategy. We had Ricky on the other day.
Yep.
And he's the
He
number
got-
2 pick.
yeah.
He's gonna get Johnson, his kid at once, and take Bell. So he's going to get Johnson.
Yep.
In the second round, he's looking at DeMarco Murray. That's probably going to be there somewhere around there, or Hilton. There's no point in him reaching on Hilton, who doesn't know about the quarterback yet.
Right.
He might as well just go win that running back spot.
Correct.
Because there's no way that I'm going to even beat David Johnson alone. If he goes with DeMarco Murray as well.
Right. It's probably a better pick than Dez, Hilton, maybe
just,
Michael Thomas.
Just because of consistency. And
yeah.
he always takes Henry later on to handcuff him.
Yeah.
So in our league, Henry's not going to get drafted early, so he gets him in round 11.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean, it's really not really an issue for him.
Sure.
But you're looking at a team, when you look at it, you get DeMarco Murray and David Johnson, two of the best running backs last year.
Right.
So that's a strategy you could go with.
Right.
For me, I'm at the later round. I like the receivers because
yep.
if you don't get one of those top 3 running backs, I just think a top 4 running
maybe
backs.
top 4 with McCoy.
Because I like McCoy.
After McCoy, it's wide receiver.
I get you get the tier with the Gordons, the Howards, and stuff where they're
Freeman,
20.
yep.
I just don't know if it's worth taking them over Jordy Nelson. Because that kid that's at 10 is going to take, Freeman and Howard.
Right.
But he's giving me Nelson. He's saying, here you go, just take him.
Right.
Or if he does go a receiver, I'll take Michael Thomas. I'm at that point where I would take Michael Thomas over the running backs.
Right. See, I disagree with that because I think it's more even, but your overall points, so for you guys that don't know where I'm scoring, right? So Howard and Gordon, they're roughly around 260, 270 in our league at the end of the year, scoring-wise, at least last year. And Jordy Nelson was over 3.
Yeah.
AJ Green is typically over 3 in our league. So why?
Seriously,
you're talking 60 points difference over a course of a year. That makes a difference every week. And there's one thing you want to do when you look at your draft board. There's certain areas that are going to be successful and certain areas that aren't. Your top picks have to be your best players. You can't take less players just because you want to have running backs, which is why he goes wide receivers, because those are the guys that should be your sure things. You shouldn't be gambling on picks 1 and 2.
Oh, no.
In your first 2 rounds. You don't gamble and I hope Michael Thomas might be Mike Evans and take Michael Thomas. You know what I mean?
With Michael Thomas, for me, I always get Drew Brees later. So that's another factor in it for me where it's like I'm okay with him over Freeman. But if I wasn't getting him, then it would be a little bit different. I think I'd probably go Melvin Gordon there.
Yeah.
Because I think he's the best running back left.
Right.
But for me,
when you're talking AJ Green and Jordy Nelson, it's just a no-brainer. You're the floor of those guys are so high. If you want to gamble around 4 after probably round 4, like Tyler said. He's going to take a shot at Keenan Allen maybe around 4 or 5.
Yeah, because I can. At that point, I don't have anything to lose. There's nobody else there I like. I don't like Alshon Jeffrey that much.
Right. Crabtree's probably there. I like Crabtree. You're not as high on him, but still, if you want to take a shot in round 4, 5, 6, that's where you take you don't take a gamble on a guy that's always injured like Gronk in the first round and hope it works out.
Which might happen.
Which might happen. You got to hit on your first, especially this year. It's very deep, we think. So your first 4 rounds, I think you can get really solid. You can get Doug Baldwin, Terrell Pryor. You can get some pretty solid people in that third. I've seen Dez fall recently into the third, which I haven't seen a lot of people talk about Dez much since the Elliott thing went down. I think he's going to be still good. But either way, he falls in the third. You can get good receivers in the third round this year. And maybe even the 4th round, too.
So, I mean, maybe that's a case for you guys to say, oh, you can go running backs early and get good receivers in the third and fourth. I'm like, you can do that. You're just not getting elite receivers there.
Right.
I'm getting 2 elite receivers and 2 good ones as well.
Right.
So when your 2 good ones are your first 2, you're facing my elite ones.
Right.
You're not beating them on any weeks.
Right.
I mean,
your next 3 is not going to be
Doug Baldwin can go off for 30 for you, but AJ Green can go off for 56 for me.
Right, or just the 30 to wipe that out.
Yeah, so
like your 3rd and 4th receivers, theirs has to beat your 1 and 2s.
Yeah,
that's tough to beat. So.
But then again, you can make the argument, well, you're not going to beat my running backs. I'm not going to beat your running backs, but I'm going to beat your tight end most of the time. I'm going to beat your quarterback most of the time.
Right.
My receivers. If Tyreek Hill is my second flex, I'm going to win every single one of those flex positions every week. Because if you're going to take the strategy of 3 running backs first, that means Marshawn Lynch is your flex.
Right.
If you're going up against Terrell Pryor, someone like that, you're not going to outscore him with Marshawn Lynch because he's so touchdown dependent.
Right. Right.
You can't guarantee it. At least I know what I'm getting out of my guys.
Correct.
I know I'm looking at 10 targets a game out of all my receivers.
Yep.
And at this point too, it's another thing. I hate the receivers later on in the draft. I like Decker might be one of the only ones. Unless it's rookies or really far reaches, I don't like the people where I'm going to take my running backs and quarterbacks.
Right.
So for me, I don't have to worry. I have 5 of them already. It covers bye weeks.
Right.
So I don't have to worry about bye weeks.
Right.
I'm just going to slide in people.
Right.
That's all I'm going to do. I'll play 2 tight ends in a week. I really don't even care.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
absolutely.
at that point.
Absolutely.
But for me, it's just the advantage, in my opinion, of having 5 wide receivers on your team.
Yeah.
It's proven in our league to work because
Right.
people have won it this way, and the other way's also been proven to work.
Well, not everything's set up like ours too. So if you're 2 wide receivers, 1 flex, maybe that doesn't work as well.
Yeah.
Because then it's more 50-50, my 2 against your best 2.
Yeah.
So it might work a little bit different. Or you can go, Tyler's strategy where you go full receivers, quarterback in the 5th round. Maybe you go quarterback in the 4th round. I did a draft the other day. I got Odell. This was at pick 7.
Yeah.
Odell fell to me in 1. I got Nelson at 2, which
Steal.
that probably won't happen too often. But for my argument, so I got Odell and Jordy, or if I had Odell, Mike Thomas, or
Yeah,
Dez,
it'll
or
work. Yeah,
whatever, right?
Even if you use Nelson though.
And then I got Terrell Pryor in the 3rd. I got Rodgers in the 4th. Right, so I got the number 1 quarterback most likely in the league. Maybe
to a receiver.
Right, and I got Odell, Jordy Nelson, Terrell Pryor, Crabtree. I grabbed Crowder because I think you could play 2 Redskin receivers. And I got Tyreek Hill later on in the 6th round. So
I'd personally start Hill over Crowder.
Right.
That's just because I think Hill's like a dynamic player.
Right.
I mean, anyone that watched that Kansas City first play of the game when Alex Smith, actually it might not have been Alex Smith.
Yeah.
I don't remember the quarterback.
Yeah. Well, that's just gave me the way it drafted.
Threw it right over the head for like 37 yards in
Yeah.
the first pass to Tyreek Hill. Gets me excited about somebody like that.
Yeah, no question about it.
I was really down. You can ask him.
Right.
I was really, really down on Tyreek Hill this year. But, judging on the way that he looks in camp, the way he looked in the game.
Maybe he's going to be a little bit better. But either way, you can have 4 or 5 receivers and slide a quarterback in somewhere in that top 6 where you're getting it. Because we believe you do have to have a top 5 quarterback in our league to win. You have to. But you can't get them in round 1 or 2 or you're not going to get there. You got to get the value. You got to find a top 5 quarterback after round 3.
Yep.
It's really how we look. Maybe even after round 4. So like I said, if you get Rodgers or Brady in the 4th, I think you can give up your 4th receiver. Maybe you don't take a shot on Keenan Allen. Maybe you take a shot on him and you hope Crowder maybe can offset that a little bit. Or Devontae Adams or Crabtree. Or
well, you look at it like this.
like
if we compared the teams, you'd have Rodgers, I'd have Breeze.
Right.
I'd have Keenan Allen, you'd have Crowder.
Yeah.
If Keenan Allen does anything like he does in the past, he's probably going to get hurt.
Right. You had A.J. Green, I had Odell Beckham. I'd probably win that one.
You win that one.
You had Jordy Nelson. Most likely that's
we'll
probably
call that a
Michael
wash.
Thomas.
Even if we call it a wash.
A lot of the receivers are going to be a wash. The quarterbacks most likely will be a wash.
Yeah.
So with the slight edge to Rodgers, maybe by a little bit. So we'll be very competitive in ours. And then it's going to come down to who's the better drafter.
Yeah, because then it's
who gets the better back. Who takes the
kicker? Like this is where we're talking about kickers do matter because now the kicker is going to have an influence in this week.
Right.
We're looking at let's call it 120 points out of the people that we're even on.
Right.
So now you're looking at your defense. If we're both even on that, that's a push.
Yeah.
Now what if my kicker scores 8 more points than yours?
Yeah.
Now that's a huge advantage.
Yeah. Is your kicker playing indoors? Keep an eye on that. Matt Bryan always pay attention when he's playing indoors compared to outdoors.
Yep.
Same with the defense. Watch the weather. Are they playing in a rainy game? The defense playing in a rainy game, they'll probably have a better day.
You could have Theo Reddick. I could have Woodhead.
Right.
Probably going to be close to a wash there. Maybe Woodhead's a little better.
Right.
But then your other running back might be LeGarrette Blount going off on that week, and mine would be Dalvin Cook, or maybe not even that good of a running back.
Right.
Maybe I have Spencer Ware.
Right.
Something
or
like
Jeffries
that.
Rodgers or Abdul who has a bad
something
week.
Like that.
It all depends. You got to be a very good draft. You got to do a lot of your homework late. In late round guys, don't just pick it's round 10, whatever. I'll just take anybody, whatever.
Yeah, don't do that. Every round matters.
Go for the long shot. Like it's round 10. Like you're not losing your fantasy season because of the 10th pick or 11th pick or 12th. Take a shot. Grab one of these rookies. Grab Kareem Hunt. Grab Joe Williams.
My favorite one. Kenny Galloway.
Kenny Galloway. Oh, absolutely. What if you take him the second and he becomes the number 2 receiver? What if you take the Williams? Is it Joe Williams in Green Bay?
No, Jamal Williams.
Jamal
Williams is Green Bay.
Take a shot on Jamal Williams in the 10th round.
Take a shot on Joe Williams.
Or Joe Williams, right? Because I think Jamal Williams is going to be the starter over Montgomery. I think Montgomery's going to get banged up, yeah. So I think you could have an RB2 in the 11th round. You take a flyer, because they do like to run the ball. They'll throw the ball to the guy. Next thing you know, you might have a top 15, top 20 running back in the 11th round. So don't gamble on the 11th round guy to be your, I hope he becomes a top 50 player.
Yeah,
whatever. You know what I mean? Like, don't take a guy just to be your top
Michael Thomas,
flex player.
let's be honest, doesn't exist this year. In this receiving core, I don't think any of these rookie receivers are Michael Thomas from last year.
Well, we didn't know Michael Thomas. I think Galladay.
See, I like that, but I still think Golden Tate's going to get the majority of it.
No, I agree too. But we thought but you would have thought the same thing. You would have like, well, I think Cooks is going to get most of it, and he'll be a good number 2, which he was. Maybe even the 1. I think it would be the same.
I agree with you because I'm at the same time I'm not trying to make a case against Galloway because I love Galloway. I mentioned him in the rookie show the other day. Then he goes and gets 2 touchdowns.
Galladay.
Galloway, not Galloway. I said Galloway, I think, in the video.
I think either way, take a guy later on the rounds that you think could really shoot up. Like it's a long shot, like Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
If those guys hit on the long shot, you're going to have an RB2. Don't hit on a guy like, oh my God, I hope he can crack my flex line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shoot for the guy that could be an RB2 or an RB3, like Garrett Blunt, Kareem Williams, Zay Jones. Take a flyer on these guys. Because if they don't work out, guys, most of these guys you cut anyway because you want to pick up the Tyreek Hills that are going off. And you're dropping these people anyway, so take a long shot there compared to the early rounds. The early rounds, you grab the guys that are solid. The later rounds, you go for the home runs. Don't try to hit a single with it.
Yeah, and at the same time, if you're in a keeper league, it's even better to target these Galloways or Galloway, however you say his name.
Absolutely.
It's better to target, say, Jones. It's better to target, because in the ones I've played, you lose 2 rounds from where you take him forward.
Right.
So if you took in round 13,
like
Galloway,
Thomas, like you did last year.
Yeah, I traded him, though, so that was a mistake.
Well, correct,
but so at 13, if you got Galloway, you're only losing 11th round next year. I'm being a little.
If he becomes Michael Thomas,
I was gonna say I'm giving too much credit probably than what he's gonna do.
Right.
But if he goes out and he goes for 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns,
right,
you get to keep that next year for a 9th round pick.
Right.
So now you can draft a running back earlier because there's one of your flexes right there.
No doubt. Well, that's what happened with Mike Thomas. A lot of people last year get drafted, 11th, 12th, 13th round. You take him in the 11th and you have to give up your 9th.
Yeah, no question.
I mean, that's a no-brainer, so that's something you want to keep an eye on. Zeke's another one you want to keep an eye out for. If he starts falling, if you see him in the 4th or 5th rounds, so next year you only have to give up a 2nd or a 3rd round, and you have Zeke in there, I mean, God forbid. I mean,
it all depends on when you guys start your who you can't keep, because we couldn't keep anyone 3rd or higher.
Yeah, correct. So keep an eye on that. So make sure you consider that, though, about your Zeke situation. I don't think he'll fall to the 4th round no matter what, but or even the 3rd, to tell you the truth, but... so there's different ways to do it. Defensive kickers don't matter. It's just, to me, it's best player available. I like the quarterback. I took a shot on him last year. You just said don't matter.
I think you mean defensive player. Defense and kickers do matter.
Yes, do matter. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. So, they do matter because it is going to make a difference on your draft velocity.
At the end of the day,
in our league, it certainly matters. Not a ton. You're not going to make a specific strategy for them. But you do want to make them a little bit relevant. So if you're 19 people deep or 17 people deep in your league, team-wise, don't wait till 16 and 17 and take the kicker in the deep. How about just go like 13 and 14 or 14 and 15?
Yeah.
Just go a couple rounds early and lock in that, the Gostkowskis, the Matt Bryants, the Mason Crosby in Green Bay, some Lutz in New Orleans.
I like Lutz.
Lutz was on the free sheet last year. Matt Prater. Yep. Lock up one of those guys. Maybe just a round before someone else might. Nothing too early, but
yeah, it's a 16 versus a 17.
Yeah,
that's what it generally works out to be. Right. So in the 16th, if I go, oh, you know what? No one's taking a kicker yet. I'm just going to take Justin Tucker.
Right. And then you're going to have the best one.
Yeah. So I'll give up Brandon LaFell or whoever the heck you're taking there. I'll give that person up, and I'll get the best kicker. So when I'm playing the person that's got, Cairo Santos out of Kansas City, it's like, all right, well, I scored 11 or 12 points with my kicker.
You should win. If you get the number 1 guy over the number 4 guy, you should win. And that's how you can look at a lot of those. When you're drafting and you get the opportunity to get the number 3 wide receiver over the number 8 running back, take the number 3 wide receiver. Exactly. He's going to get you more points. Don't take the running back just to fill the running back slot.
Yep.
All right, that's how you lose your drafts, because you're drafting by need. If there's anything we've learned in real life watching Bill Belichick do his draft, you don't draft by need. It's a mistake on all facets.
Dude, Jimmy Garoppolo in the damn 2nd round.
Yeah, because he saw a need for a backup quarterback because of Brady's contract. It's the same in fantasy football. You don't take the 6th running back in Melvin Gordon in our league for the 4th wide receiver. You just in AJ Green or 5th wide receiver. You just
don't do what everyone does and take the 12th running back over the number 2 tight end.
Same way, yep.
Because you could get Travis Kelce, or you could go with the 12th running back. It's like, why would you even do that?
Yeah, you do got to be careful a little bit though, because you don't want, just because it's the tight end 2 over the running back, 5. I mean,
oh no, that's different.
When it's the tight end, so you got to have a little common sense there. But when it's running back receiver, it's almost as whatever number's better.
Yeah.
Tight ends, it's different. Take the number 1 quarterback over the 9th running back.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So these are the things you got to look at. Best player available. Just don't fall into the trap of, well, I got to fill out my roster. I got 2 running backs, so I better get a receiver. I better get a tight end. Don't follow that trap. It's a big, big mistake for anybody that's new out there.
Filling rosters is the worst thing to do in a draft. And you know what? It happens to a lot of the new people. Because they see in order. They'll be like, oh, quarterback's first.
Right.
He's probably the best one. They watch regular football or they played regular football. Yeah. We had that happen maybe 4 years ago when the new person came in and had no clue what he was doing.
Yeah.
So he went and took a quarterback as he played quarterback. He's like, that's the most important position.
Right.
And he ended up, not making the playoffs.
Right.
Now he's actually a consistent playoff team.
Right.
So
Especially if you're a local, if you're a younger kid, if you're it's your first time, you don't know much about fantasy football, and you're in Wisconsin, and Brady, Rodgers is your guy,
on your wall, yeah.
Rodgers fathead on your wall, and
take Jordy Nelson over him.
Don't take Rodgers in that first round. That's what we see the biggest mistakes is they go quarterback and they go popular quarterback. Brady, Rodgers. Oh, I'll take him in my first round. He's the best quarterback in the league. Yep. Yes, he is. But you can get him in rounds 3 or 4 in a normal league. Take the best player. Don't take the best quarterback early.
Yeah, the thing that it works in our league
work as well.
In our league, the best quarterback is going to score more than the best, running back and the best receiver on average.
Right.
You're going to score more, but I'm going to get Kirk Cousins in round 10 and AJ Green in round 1.
Yep.
You're going to get Rodgers in round 1, and you're going to get a flyer with him. So the points aren't even going to be close at the end of the year.
Right.
I'm going to blow you out of the water because I got a way better receiver and I got a quarterback that's on par.
Right.
I think in our league, Cousins finished as quarterback number 8. 7 or 8, it was in one of those 2.
Yeah.
In our league, so actually no, I'm wrong.
I thought it was 8.
No, I think that's what we had him on the list. I think he finished 4. I'd have to go back and check. I'll get that in a different video. But so if you want to look it up, you can. But I almost think he was right behind Ryan in our league.
He might have.
So, but that's not even making a difference. If he finished as 8, as his ADP has him, or projections have him,
right?
You're getting the 8th best quarterback and the 3rd best receiver versus the 1st best or 4th best receiver, one of the 3rd or 4th. So then you get the the number 8 quarterback, number 3 or 4 receiver, versus the number 1 quarterback and the number 40 receiver. It's not even close.
That's correct. It's going to hurt you in the long run. Your team, you ain't going to have depth. You ain't going to have consistency. You're not going to win the matchups. Really, you're not going to win the position battles, which is huge. So that's our thoughts on philosophy, guys. Anything else you got?
No, that's about it.
I like that pretty up, guys. Best player, it works out well. Wide receiver, know your draft. It works out well for us.
Remember, know your draft. That should be the name of every one of our videos. But just know your draft in your league, because that's
don't draft by need. You do that, you'll do pretty well in your draft, and keep an eye on the waiver wire. And we'll talk to you soon. See you guys.
See ya.